told Bobby I was going to say this. The only guy that wanted Luke May as badly as me was Bob McKillop. And needless to say, I'm very fortunate that he said yes to us. But several things. They're a hard team to play with everybody on their club that can make threes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys made threes for them, and we had 1, 2. We had 2 guys that made threes. So it's really a hard team to play like that. And they're good defensively also. But I thought that 2 things off the bench were really important to us. I thought Brandon Robinson in the first half gave us a really big time lift, and I thought in the second half that Sterling gave us a big lift. And I've always felt like those guys coming off the bench have got to give you something positive. So I felt that that was 2 big things for us. Luke, 24 and 17 was huge. You know, he had a double-double at halftime. He had 13 and 10. Joel didn't shoot the ball particularly well, but he makes 27 points because he's 7-7 at the foul line and attacking the basket and getting to the foul line. Kenny does some good things. You know, he's shooting 50-something% from 3 in the first half. He shot 1 in 18 minutes, and we had Jalik and B-Rob shooting threes out there, and their percentage is nowhere near like Kenny's. And so I said something to them about that at halftime, and I thought Theo was huge. He turned down 2 straight threes because he hadn't shot them well, and took it to the basket and made an old-time 3-point play one time and another basket the other time. But there's a lot of guys that were really involved in some good things for us, and we had to have that kind of play because I just think Davidson is really a hard team for us to play because I like to play 2 big guys, and it was hard to do that tonight.
Coach Bob said he thought you won a lot of the 50-50 balls. Did you like your team's effort tonight? I
did after the first 4, I guess it's after the 16-minute timeout, I challenged them because I didn't think they had a 3 and a 2 on second chance points, and I don't know how many they ended up with. Well, those to 5. And the whole game they got them in the first 4 or 5 minutes just by out hustling us to the basketball. So after that, yes, I thought we really did some good things. Came up with some loose balls. Left them too many open times there, and on the freshman, I think, isn't Grady a freshman? That's pretty impressive. I mean, he's playing against North Carolina, and we at times have had a good reputation, and I thought he was big for them. But no, I thought that once we got past that first 4 minutes, I was really pleased with our effort and our intensity.
Coach, you mentioned that process of recruiting Luke. What was the relationship like between you and Bob during that? Did you guys, talk about him frequently when you would come here? Would you visit him? Any stories like that?
No. God almighty, guys, we work. I go to the games and I take my butt back home. That's what he does too. You cannot have any more respect for a coach than I have for Bob McKillop. I've known Bobby a long time. He was Matt Daugherty's high school coach through, I think, Matt's junior year. I told him before the game that we had more gray hair on the sideline than any game anybody could see this year. He said it's a good thing Crimmins wasn't refereeing. So, but no, Bobby McKillop's really a great guy, and I know how badly they wanted Luke. And I really wanted Luke badly. I go back again to how many times he was in our summer camp, and I kept telling Mark, his dad, don't settle. I think he's going to be good enough at the end. Just don't be in a hurry. And in saying all that, it actually that I knew what I was doing. I mean, the biggest thing is I loved him as a person, as a kid, but he did have some ability to shoot. He had great hands. He had instincts to play the game, and then the rest of it's sweat. And that's what Luke has put in. I mean, he's just been one of the best workers I've ever coached, and more efficient than 90% of the really good workers I've had. So that's it. But no, when you recruit against Davidson, I hope he feels the same way when they recruit against us, that everything's going to be above board. You just got to do a better job recruiting and get lucky, and that's what we did. We got lucky.
That 8-point stretch that Brandon had, a couple times he was aggressive attacking the basket. How has his game changed from last year?
Well, he was aggressive attacking the basket because I was so ticked off at his 3-point shot. I mean, you think about it, the whole game plan, I always write 3 things up, and it was attack the basket. They're big guys that don't like to foul. Bobby doesn't like them to get in foul trouble, and we felt like we could attack the basket and not be challenged as much as we were standing out there and shooting threes. And if you're shooting threes and not making the sucker, then stop shooting them. And but I do think that Brandon gave us one time, even on the break, took it all the way. Another time, he took it to the basket hard, and I thought he made a good play and thought he got fouled, but they didn't call it. But I thought he did some good things.
How has he grown much from last year when he came in as a freshman?
Brandon?
Yeah.
He hadn't grown. He's grown about 5 pounds. It's all in a year and a half to almost 2 years. But no, he understands it more. You know, and he had some problems where he sat out some time for his shoulder, but it appears to be getting better for him. We needed another body out there today because 7th wasn't out there. But no, I think B-Rob's important to our team.
Roy, when the team plays the style that Davidson does, the fact that you have bigger guys down there, 2 guys, can you wear them down, can you bump them off the ball?
Well, we try to score inside and we try to get more rebounds because we're bigger. And if you look at the rebound totals, it's 54-23. That's a huge advantage for us. You look at second chance points, it's 25-5. You look at in the paint, it's 48-18. Bobby gets his kids to play to their strengths, and I think we need to play to our strengths. And you know, I think we can shoot the ball better, particularly Joel, Kenny being 0 for 3 from the 3-point line. But they close on you. They're good defensively. They don't give you the open looks. I call a set play for Joel's with one across from the bench in the dead corner. Shot clock was winding down, and the guy really challenged the shot. Joel made a heck of a shot. Sometimes the ball just goes to you.
Anybody else?
So, do you feel like these games, another tournament will be here, the NCAA tournament, do you feel like playing Michigan, a coach like that, Davidson, a coach like Bob, really sets you guys up for the tournament?
I think so. We always try to play really good teams, and Steve maybe you or I once to check, but I think the last 3 years our schedule has been ranked in the top 10 in the country, strength of schedule 3 years in a row, and I don't think it's ever been bad. So yes, we do try to schedule tough opponents, and I like different opponents. I mean, you think about 3 of our last 4 games, well, every one of them. Arkansas, that was a completely different style than we had seen. Michigan State, Michigan and Davidson, a little bit similar. But I think that does help you at the end of the year if you're successful. If you're not successful, it doesn't. Anybody else?
Hey, Coach, you have it's the second game of 4 games in 7 days. What's the difficulties of going that much? You play Sunday and turn around and play Wednesday.
The most difficult thing to me is it's 10 games in 27 days. We haven't had a chance to catch our breath, and it wasn't 10 games at home. You know, we've only played 3 home games, and so I think that schedule is probably a little more challenging than maybe I should have made it. I haven't really cared the last couple of years, but I thought we were going to be really, really good. And there was a little more indecision about what was going to happen this year, but it's hard because we played Michigan, and the next day we spend 40 minutes looking at Michigan tapes. Oh yeah, guys, we got to play Davidson. So then we looked at the Davidson tape, went out and had a short practice. We'll do the same thing tomorrow. We'll say, okay, we got Tulane. We have Tulane on Sunday, so we'll go look at the Davidson clips, and then we'll move over to Tulane. But it's hard, and then we play again on Wednesday. You know, and on Wednesday, then we don't play for 11 games. Clint Walton's in charge of the schedule. He usually screws it up.
I thought you were saying we played